Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to my comic book journey podcast. I'm your host, KNDY, and we are kicking off the second season of my comic book journey. And this is episode 101. We shall go back to the year 1991 for Solar, Man of the Atom from Valiant Comics. And this one is a very fascinating issue because I've done various Solar, I guess you could say journals where I talked about the issue and so forth. But this one's very interesting because we now have Phil Zaleski wanting to put an end to Solar. It's a little confusing, but the real Phil Zaleski, who tried to, how would I say this? Okay, I think this is the best way to say it. Okay, when Phil Zaleski was a young child, he used to love reading Dr. Solar, popular Key comic book. Key is the company that was known for creating Magnus, Robot Fighter, and Solar, and he enjoyed reading those comic books, those Dr. Solar. Okay, so fast forward, he becomes a prominent scientist, develop something to utilize atomic power, and needless to say, it malfunctioned, and everyone around the vicinity is about to get killed. While this one doesn't really show the actual origin of what happened. I mean, you can get pages within issues 1 through 10, I believe, to piece together the origin of Phil Zaleski and how he became Solar. But what happened was he pretty much tried to stop it. He was melted and disfigured. Then all of a sudden, something happened, and he healed. But in the process, another being of Phil Zaleski, which is a cooler version of him, was created. But also created was the Dr. Solar version, in the red suit. This issue, Phil Zaleski feels that he must kill the Solar in the red suit. Even though they're all the same, the same being, they both pride themselves into different things, and they have different beliefs. It's just really interesting. But yeah, the Phil Zaleski magical version, not the scientist, but the magical version. Again, they're the same people, but they've been separated. He wants his revenge, and but he wants to take down Solar. He feels that he has to. So in the process, the two go at it and fight. And needless to say, the winner was Dr. Solar in red. But he thinks that Phil Zaleski is dead. And so it gets a little confusing. Now Dr. Solar finds himself as a comic book character that now has been made to reality, and he's trying to figure out this new planet, this new world, and how he can fit in. Does he become a superhero? What does he do with his life? So those are the type of things that are very interesting, because you start off with a book with Phil Zaleski doing that, trying to figure out where he belongs, what are his goals, what does he need to accomplish. And it's the same thing with Dr. Solar in red, trying to figure out the same thing. So needless to say, it's a freaking awesome book. I definitely do recommend it if you can get a copy of it. But yeah, it's going to take some time until we get to the actual one Solar. But for now, yeah, you have these two guys battling it while the other one, the other scientist version, is still around, and it gets really confusing because I think Phil Selesky went back to visit the real Phil Selesky to get into his comic book collection, and that's where he finds that Dr. Solar issue, and it gets pretty wild, really wild. And the fact that they happen to incorporate the Key Solar into the storyline, that's Key Comics from the past, that was really awesome. Again, you know, Valiant comics are not the easiest to find, especially these older, early issues. But if you can find this one, definitely worth it. Okay, everyone, you take care, and I will see you later. Wink, wink, and see you later, everyone. Bye-bye.